Good evening, everyone. I hope you are having an excellent start to your weekend on this rainy Friday. It's rainy here anyway. We have a couple of new releases that came out today. We're going to be busting into both of them. It's going to be Revolution Basketball as well as Bowman. Why do I keep wanting to say Bowman Chrome? No, Bowman Draft. I'll get it out in a minute. Bowman Draft. That's what we've got on tap for tonight. Of course, before we get started opening packs and boxes and all that, we do have some information to go over. And we may potentially have some teams available. Not 100% sure on that yet, guys. We're going to wait and see, if payment comes in or not, or where we are on things. So I'll check that again right when we finish up with our info. So let's take a look at that. First, did I hit the camera already? So early this evening for me to have hit the tripod, isn't it? Yeah, I know. My day's been kind of weird like that. It's been off just a little bit all day. But it's not going to be off tonight for this break because we're going to rock it. We're going to pull some awesome stuff. I feel it. Feel it coming. Okay, so first thing there that you see just has to do with feedback. That is to let you know that my feedback on eBay is 100% automated. What that means to you is anytime you leave positive feedback for me, you're going to instantly get positive feedback in return with no waiting. The only thing you don't wait on in the holiday season, right? And then, of course, the next thing there is just a note to say thank you. I do appreciate everyone who shows up to watch the break and those of you who chat with me and bid and break with me. Whatever brings you by this evening, I am certainly glad to have you. We're taking a look right now at breaks that are coming up over the next few days. So tomorrow night, we're going to open a 4th and goal football box with 4 autographed memorabilia items in it, a full-size helmet, a mini helmet, a jersey, and a photograph. We'll also open a half case of 2018-19 Flawless Collegiate Basketball, a full 8-box case of 2018 Playbook Football, and we're going to open the 10 boxes that are the back half of the Elite Extra Edition case of baseball that we started on Wednesday night. On Sunday, we'll open a Hit Parade licensed football jersey. So that means they're guaranteeing us that it's not custom. It will definitely be an authentic NFL jersey that will come out of there autographed. We'll open a 3rd case of Leaf Metal Draft Baseball and a 4th and what I believe is probably final case of Obsidian Football. I doubt I'll be able to get any more of that. On Monday night, we will open a Gold Rush autographed baseball jersey. We'll do the back half of the Bowman Draft Jumbo that we're going to start tonight. We'll finish up that case on Monday night. On Tuesday the 18th, we'll do a Flawless Collegiate Basketball. Again, we'll do another 16-box master case of Revolution Basketball. On Wednesday, there's only one new product that comes out on Wednesday, and that is Donruss Optic Football. So we will open a 4th case of Leaf Metal Draft Baseball on Wednesday, along with that new release, which is Optic Football. So that lets you know what the days ahead look like for tonight. Here's what you need to know. Revolution Basketball is going to open first, and Bowman Draft Jumbo is going to be our second break tonight. I'm guessing, guys, that Revolution is probably going to take us about an hour. That's kind of an estimate. So if you're here for the Bowman Draft, I'm estimating about an hour for Revolution. This will be the first time I've opened it since last year or so. It's a little bit of a guess, but I think that's maybe a reasonable feel. And of course, I'm anticipating that everything we're opening tonight will be out the door on or before Tuesday. I hope maybe sooner. I hope sooner, but it should be no later than Tuesday. Of course, we don't have any free shipping breaks tonight, so we don't have to worry about that. There's loads of cards in both these breaks, so I don't think we have to worry about consolation cards here tonight either. So first up will be our 16-box case, or rather it's 2 8-box cases, make up a 16-box master case of 2018-19 Revolution Basketball. And this will be break number 1, of course, because it just came out today. And everything we're opening tonight ended tonight on eBay Friday night, the 14th of December. You have team names on the left-hand side. Your name is up in lights across from your team on the right-hand side if you happen to be the winning bidder in here this evening. And yeah, I think that's all the news to use there. The last little thing you got to know is right here. I don't use autofocus. So that's why your background is going out of focus, because I'm manually setting it to look at the cards all up nice and pretty and close and personal. Now let me flip over here, guys, and see where we are in terms of waiting on payment. And see, oh, it looks like everything did get cleared up there. So those of you who got your payments in here, I do appreciate it. Everybody's all paid up. Yay, we don't have to slow down for anything. Woohoo! I like that plan. Let me look at chat real quick before we bust this case open. So Jay Allen is here. Hi, Jay Allen. Scott is here. Joshua's here looking for a little Brady Singer later here in Bowman Draft tonight. And Jay Allen, you said you're tired tonight. I'm sorry, I'm tired tonight too. You didn't have Tennessee last night? Now see, I wasn't sure if you did or not. I thought you had some teams last night, but then I couldn't remember, and I saw that come out, and I know that's a team you buy a lot, and I know you've been looking for that Mariota, so I thought maybe you did. I forgot to go back and look to see who ultimately had it, but all right, guys, we've got two 8-box inners that are coming out of here. So, of course, I'm not going to take, well, first I got to get them out of this bigger case. I'm not going to take all 16 boxes out at once. We're going to take out 8, and then we'll take out the other 8. Because they're in 2 sealed 8-box cases anyway. And that will just make it a little more manageable in terms of what's out on the table at any given time. We don't have to like overload our table. Hey, Greg. Jason, you are asking if all the cards are shipping in Revolution. Yes, guys, all the cards are shipping. As always, if there is ever a break where not everything ships, I will always note that in the description. Kind of in the same area where it tells you like the date and time of the break, and then right below it, like for this, it would have said, 16 times, 18, 19 Revolution, etc. Right there in that same area is where I would note any relevant changes, like if for some reason not all the cards were shipping, or there were special categories, or anything that's kind of out of the ordinary will always be noted in that listing description. So in the absence of something being typed in there, you can pretty much count on everything shipping with me. All right, so Greg, you have the Bulls. Jay Allen, you have the Hornets, the Pistons, the Pelicans. You had Oakland last night. Oh, I gotcha. Greg says there's extra hits in Revolution. And oh, Jake, you had the Mariota last night. That was nice, wasn't it? Out of well, why am I blanking on the name of that product? Vertex. Okay, so if you've never opened Revolution before, here's what you need to know. There's actually a few things that you want to know. The first one is any autographs that we pull out of here are going to be on card. For the most part, the autographs that we pull out of here are usually pretty good. Veterans and or rookies, either one can come out. And they're also, though, not guaranteed to be in every box. In fact, we know they're not going to be in every box. They generally show up about 6 or so in every master case. But now I have heard reports that we are getting more like 8 out of many master cases. Now I'm talking out of all 16 boxes, right? Not out of this little inner case. So if that continues to hold true, we'll say that we would expect to find somewhere between 6 and 8 autographs in total in this break. So, they don't guarantee a certain number of them. However, as many or most or all of you know, there's a lot of chase involved with the different types of patterns that come out. Some of our patterns are numbered, like Cosmic and Sunburst and Lava and Cubic. Some of our other patterns are not numbered. And usually if they're numbered, it's going to be fairly obvious when they're numbered. But for the most part, we'll go through this first little bit here, and take a look to refamiliarize ourselves with the various patterns. All right, so that is Dennis Smith Jr., and as you see there, that is the groove pattern, but it is also not numbered. So groove isn't numbered. We're going to find, well, there's so many different patterns in here. This, it's going to take me a minute to try to remember the names of all of them. Fractal, that one is not numbered. There's Astro, Groove, Impact, Fractal, none of those are numbered. Galactic is not numbered either, but it is a case hit usually if we find Galactic. That's an example of what Astro looks like when you find the little stars rolling around through there. And that is nothing. This is Impact, I do believe, right? And again, Impact, none of the Impact are numbered. So Astro, Groove, Fractal, Impact, never numbered, neither Galactic, although Galactic is the case hit. So right away, we find ourselves a nice little on-card autograph, and that is for the 76ers and Zaire Smith. So a lot of the chase, as I was kind of explaining before I got lost in trying to discuss all the patterns here, that is an Astro for Luca, is that the various patterns being harder to pull does make it somewhat interesting, and sometimes patterns alone can get you a little extra money in here, even with no autograph. That is an Impact Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And it just takes me a minute to get used to all of our patterns again. I have not opened this since last year, so I always have to think about these patterns when we first see them. There's Cosmic. It's numbered to 100. So anytime you see that particular pattern, we know it will be numbered to 100. And we haven't seen any Sunburst yet or Cubic. You don't see Lava all that often because it is only to 10, but it does show up every once in a while. And that, of course, is Astro again with the little stars floating around through it. So that's box 1, and we have 1 autograph. So there we go. We at least are off to a good start in that regard. Jay Allen, you said you have seen several breaks of Revolution today, and you have never seen less than 7. Okay. Yeah, I mean, again, they always say, like last year, I think they said you could expect 6. I think this year they kind of said similar, that you can expect around 6, but then mostly we've been seeing closer to 8 come out. But I think I'm safer probably saying that it's going to be something like 6 to 8, and that should cover us, I think, fairly well, I think. But Revolution is one of those unique products in the sense that the buy-in is not super high on it, obviously because of the fact that it doesn't have a lot of guaranteed autographs, but the value is definitely there. The case hit with the Galactic pattern is always one that you can get some money from, and then of course the fact that they're on-card autos, we hit our hot rookies, or Kevin Durant and those kind of guys are in here too, so you hit the right kind of thing out of that, and again, you can get a good return on your investment many times. Jay Allen, you saw a Donovan Mitchell redemption come out of this today. Okay, well that's good. That's nice to know. There again is Groove, and of course Groove is not numbered. I just have to get myself used to what all these patterns look like again, and then that'll make things easier. This is Sunburst, and it is numbered to 75. And that particular Sunburst is Mr. De'Aaron Fox. Sunburst, fortunately one that we don't ever have to think about. We just know it when we see it. Look at that, 2 boxes in a row we're finding autographs. Means we're going to have several in a row that don't have them in a minute, I guess. Mikal Bridges coming out for the Phoenix Suns. So Suns and the Sixers have already hit autographs. And there is Astro once again. And guys, if you sometimes, if you see something go by that I have missed calling out, please do let me know. Groove, one more time. Occasionally one of these patterns will slide by me and not catch my attention. That is going to be Astro again, which are unnumbered, of course. And that, I believe, is also Astro, right? Yes. But Revolution is always kind of just a fun little break, a vortex insert, where you have the chance to pull some really nice stuff for a decent money. Decent buy-in. That one is Impact, Shockwave insert as well. And a die cut Liftoff. And Russell Westbrook for the Oklahoma City Thunder. And behind that, I see that we have ourselves what looks like just another Groove. And that is box number 2 in the books. Actually bought more Revolution this year than I buy some years. I don't really know why I did, but most years I only buy a couple of master cases. I think I bought 4 this year. So we're going to have 4 master cases of Revolution to open as opposed to the couple that we normally do. So hopefully we'll probably get those knocked out by the end of the year anyway, I would imagine. They moved Contenders. You guys know I told you Contenders basketball and Contenders football were due to come out the 26th of December. One of my reps told me today that the date moved on Contenders football for sure. It's no longer going to be December the 26th. It's moved into sometime in January. I don't know if they're still planning on Contenders basketball staying the 26th or not. He said he hadn't heard on that yet. But apparently they did move a bunch of stuff. He was supposed to send me an updated calendar and he didn't. But next week we know Wednesday, of course, is Optic football. And then Friday is Bowman's Best. And those are, as far as I know, those are the only 2 new releases next week, which is kind of good considering that we're rolling headlong into, here's a nice little Jaren Jackson, into the holiday season. That, of course, is going to be unnumbered. And there's a nice little DeAndre Ayton Rookie Revolution insert. There's Groove again. And why do I keep forgetting the name of that pattern? It's Kevin Knox and Astro. Why can't I retain Astro? I don't know. Cannot. For some reason, I have trouble retaining Astro. I keep wanting to say that it's Cosmic, but it is not. Another little die cut here. This one, Liftoff die cut. And that one is DeMar DeRozan for the Spurs. That's Groove again. And Astro, I got it that time. I probably will forget it by the time we see it again. But I did remember it for that brief moment in time. Here's Fractal. And Fractal is another one that is unnumbered, but we'll find a handful of them as we go along. They're fairly plentiful. Maybe not as much as Groove, which that was Groove again, but Fractal and Impact, definitely show up. No, Scott, this is not the first time I have broken Revolution. As I mentioned earlier, we have usually break about 2 master cases of this a year. But this year we're going to break 4. And this is the first time I have broken Revolution since we broke it last year. So, yeah, and you know me and pattern names, so you guys are lucky if I remember any of the pattern names from year to year on this one. Oh, if you meant the first time this year, Scott, I thought you meant the first time ever. If you mean the first time this year, then yeah, for sure, because it just came out today. So, yeah, this is the first of 1819, because it just arrived in our hot little hands from UPS today. Jason, you're asking if a Jackson was cubic. How far back was it? Are you talking about the first Jaren Jackson, the insert that I stopped on and showed you guys, or are you talking about a different one? Because I don't know how far back we are looking here. If you're talking about the insert, I set that aside. If that's the one you're asking about, that's the insert right there, and it is. I thought I showed the back of that, but I might not have. It is numbered to 50. I did set it aside because it's numbered. But if you were talking about another one that I potentially missed, let me know, and I can for sure go flying back through that stack real quick and try to find it for you. You were talking about the insert. Okay, great. Yeah, no, I had set that one aside. I thought I had shown the back of that, but you know what? I probably didn't. I get myself so caught up in trying to remember all these pattern names in the beginning that it does take me usually a few boxes to get in the flow. I'll admit that. As a Miles Bridges insert. There is Cosmic to 100 for Ben Simmons and the 76ers. Oh, Scott, you tried to get in on this one and didn't make it, huh? Well, you know what? That happens sometimes. And this is Astro again. I always want to call Astro Cosmic, and I know it's not Cosmic, but I always want to call it Cosmic. Those two, just for whatever reason, I can't get them quite fixed in my head. And there's another fractal. Whoa, 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 whoa. We had somebody trying to jump out of the way there, and that was Blake Griffin, who tried to escape from us, but he did not manage to do so, fortunately. There's Astro again. And an insert for Kemba Walker on the Vortex. This is Impact, Shockwave Jason Tatum. And of course, the groove on that one. And that box rolling on along. On down the highway. So it's a relatively quick break once I can get settled into not having to think about which ones to flip over and which ones not to flip over. It's the bad thing about opening a lot of products. It's hard to, especially if you don't open them on a regular basis, it's hard to get back in that groove for a minute. Scott, the most desired card in this besides autographs would be the Galactic case hit. And that is typically, I believe, once per master case. So you're going to find it not in every 8-box case, but once per 16-box master case. So, you know, about every other 8-box case, that kind of thing. That's generally what I would say. Most people, if you're not chasing the autograph, that would be the next thing you would want, is the Galactic one. Scott, Galactic is not numbered. So Astro, Groove, Fractal, Impact, and the Galactic case hit are all unnumbered. What we have that are numbered are Cosmic, which I believe are to 100, Sunburst, which hit to 75, Cubic, which will hit to 50. That, of course, is Cosmic right there. And then Lava, which hits to 10. So those are typically the numbered ones are going to be just that. Cosmic, Sunburst, Cubic, and Lava. And the unnumbered stuff is all the rest. And that's Astro. But yeah, Galactic, I always wondered why they didn't number Galactic, but they didn't. So there you go. Impact, insert. And we have a Tracy McGrady autograph coming out here for the Houston Rockets. A-Rod is here. I'm just going to call you A-Rod. It's A-Rod Reed 29 is technically your full username, but I'm going to call you A-Rod unless you object. If you object to that, you let me know. Okay? That's Astro again. We have a Liftoff die cut, and that is Kevin Durant and the Golden State Warriors on that die cut. My sleeves are not cooperating with me tonight. Have y'all noticed that? Something about this whole pack of sleeves is just out of whack this evening. I have not seen anything of interest for the Miami Heat yet. This is Impact Robert Williams for the Celtics. Little rookie up there in Boston. Astro. And that's a Shockwave Anthony Davis insert. That is Fractal for Nola. That was Groove that went by. And we still haven't seen Galactic yet. You don't mind? Okay, good. That makes it easier, A-Rod. Thank you, man. Thank you. Jay Allen, yeah, right. There's not, again, you know, what we were talking about earlier. There's definitely no kind of guarantee about autographs in here. It should, between the 16 boxes, we should come up with 6 to 8 in total. I think we've hit 3 right now out of the 6 boxes we've opened so far. So we're kind of trending, or I guess we've opened 5. This is the 6th. So we're trending about every other right now. Something like that, maybe. Greg, you have seen, you've watched 4 16-box master case breaks today, and in all of them you saw 8. Yeah, I mean, again, that's kind of the reports I've been hearing most of the day, is that we're averaging, for the most part, a little better than 6 per 16, but it certainly isn't guaranteed to be more than that. So once again, guys, I'm being safe, telling you between 6 and 8, because I think that's where we should fall. That is Groove. Don't want to overpromise and then not have that much come out. That would not be good. Fractal. Because that kind of gets people unhappy, you know. There's another Groove. Astro. Hey, there's a Sunburst. Kyrie Irving to 75. So I saw Brandon Knight manage to get back on the court for the first time in, what, 2 years. So I thought that was good. I mean, I don't know if you guys, any of you guys even follow Brandon Knight. He, of course, came from my UK Wildcats originally. Was playing pretty well down there in Phoenix. Looked like he was going to turn out to be pretty good. And then tore his ACL a couple of years ago. Had the surgery for it. And then before he even really got back from the surgery, he had to have another surgery on it. So he's finally, it's been like 2 years, he's finally back out on the court. Liftoff die cut Blake Griffin for the Pistons. So I was glad to see him making an appearance. Well, this just made somebody happy, didn't it? Yes, it did. Trae Young, who might be coming out of his slump a little bit, had been in a little bit of a shooting slump, I think, and looks like he might be seeing the light of day. So the Atlanta Hawks have a nice autograph hit there with Trae Young. And of course, as always, the wonderful thing about these is they're on card. No stickers in Revolution, which can make a big difference on, especially on the hot rookies. You know, your high-level rookies, you definitely are going to get more money if they come out on card. So that's part of what I like about Donruss, when they have the next day autos in there that are on card for the rookies, and that's a lot of what I like about Revolution. Because they don't give us a whole lot of basketball products where they're all on card. You know, they're kind of stingy with them. Nick, you said hopefully he doesn't have to guard Kyrie again. Yeah, well, you know. I mean, some of these guys certainly are known more for their offensive production than their defensive production. I think we can all agree on that. He's not the only rookie that would fall into that category either. Ezekiel, is that your hit tonight? You've got Atlanta. Very cool, man. That's a good way to get you rolling along then, isn't it? Jay Allen, remind me again who you have in here. I know you told me, and I forgot who you told me. So you may have to roll that by me one more time. J.R. Smith, Astro. I'm going to try to make sure we get some extra mojo for you since you have been in a cold spell. That's a little groove. And that is Astro again for Michalik. Hornets, Pistons, and Pelicans. Okay, Hornets, Pistons, Pelicans. We'll see if we can't get the mojo to work it up for you. There's a little Shea Gilgeous-Alexander coming out with a Rookie Revolution insert. This is Impact for the Lakers. Unnumbered, but still cool. Astro, Jason Tatum. There is Mo Bamba Impact. Groove. I actually like our inserts this year. Pretty good amount too. There's Cosmic to 100 for Mr. Kevin Knox, who had himself a nice double-double the other night. He's been playing well too. You know, he had that little minor injury earlier in the season, kind of slowed him down a little, I think. He seems to be getting back into the flow of things. He's another one, though, frankly, that could probably work on his defense a little, maybe. Even though he's my guy, even though he's my UK guy, yeah, he could probably stand to step it up on defense a notch or two, I think. Greg, you saw another Trae Young earlier come out of another case too. So maybe he's not going to be super hard to hit in here. I don't know. Of course, the hunt is on for Luka. Luka's definitely the alpha dog of the rookie class. I mean, I know Jaren Jackson had that huge game, which was fantastic. And then he kind of settled, I think, back down more into what I would call his average, although his average has been pretty good for Jaren Jackson. So Jaren's really playing a little better than I thought that he would. Luka's playing every bit as well as I thought he would, and Ayton's playing about how I thought he would too. But there's a few I think we still have a little room to grow with. Sunburst numbered to 75 for the Nets, and that is Carroll. That is Astro, Mike Conley for the Grizz. A Vortex insert. Another Vortex insert, that's Kuzma Impact. There's an Astro, Zach Randolph. Had you guys see Kyle Kuzma had a foul the other night on James Harden, kind of basically, well, I don't know, he sort of kneed him in the thigh. I don't know how else to explain it. He kind of hit him in the thigh with his knee, and I don't think he meant to, but he did. That is an Impact Danny Green for the Raptors. And so it got called as a foul, and then he threw a fit about it, and that is Groove. In which case, they immediately teed him up. I mean, I don't know what he said, but whatever it was an instant technical. It wasn't like sometimes they'll let him jaw for a couple minutes and then tee him up. No, man, they teed him up like instantly. And so then, you know, Chris Webber was doing the commentary, and that's Groove. And so Chris Webber's like carrying on about, oh, how that wasn't a foul, and he shouldn't have been teed up, and et cetera, et cetera. So then the following day, the NBA officials come out with this whole deal about a tweet basically saying this is why we can't educate the public about the rules of basketball or something like that. It wasn't exactly that, but it basically said because Chris Webber's giving all the wrong information on the broadcast. And so then Kuzma comes back and says, and tweets, will I get a fine if I tweet back at this account? Which I thought was pretty funny. But Yeah, so man, like the NBA officials, the refs coming out tweeting basically that Chris Webber is a big, whatever you want to say, that Chris Webber is giving incorrect information, not factual information. So for whatever that's worth, I thought that was an interesting little development, that the officials are now throwing shade. So, I don't know. Jordan, you have the Suns, the Cavaliers, and the Lakers. You need a little mojo for them, huh? Suns, Cavs, and Lakers. All right, well, we will add that to our wish list. We already hit a Sun for you already, I think. So we hit your Mikal Bridges. Didn't we hit that earlier, guys? I think we hit something for the Suns, but we might need to work on the Cavs and the Lakers mojo for you. Yeah, A-Rod, I mean, like, it was crazy. I couldn't believe that the Referees Association is tweeting that out. And I mean, they just like called Chris Webber out by name too. I mean, the tweet was like, "This is why we can't properly educate the public," or some nonsense like that. And then literally called out Chris Webber by name. It's like, dang, man. Make enemies much there, refs? That is crazy. And then, the other, who was the player? The player after the game that went running after the ref the other day, a week or 10 days ago, went running after the ref after the game, confronted him in the tunnel. That is Groove. Said that the ref had called him a biatch, and he was gonna like track him down and get him and blah blah blah. And this is a ref with a history of calling players names. This is Astro. And so all the dust finally settled on that, and that ref had been suspended. That is Groove. They've reinstated him, and he had a fine of like $10,000. But they fined the player who didn't call anybody any bad names, but confronted the guy in the tunnel. The player got fined $50-something thousand. There is Prince for the Hawks. That is numbered to 50 and cubic, of course. So can you believe that? Like, what is that about? The player, they said, was unsportsmanlike conduct, which, okay, but the game was over and it was in the tunnel. The ref called him that out on the field, only got a $10K fine. Like, okay, whatever. Russell Westbrook, Astro. I thought that was just ludicrous that the player is the one who got popped on that. So much worse. DeMar DeRozan, Spurs, liftoff die cut. And there's another Impact Rookie Revolution, Ayton. So, kind of crazy. Somebody asked for the Miami Heat a minute ago, right? Was that you, A-Rod? Somebody asked for the Miami Heat. And how about Dwayne Wade headed your way as part of his farewell tour for the Heat? He must have decided to stop and sign some autographs. Astro. Fractal. And that box is in the books. Well, I will agree with you, A-Rod, that there is a lot of inconsistency in officiating kind of across the board. And some of that you would think would be settled down by this point in the season. But I guess there's so much of it that's just subject to interpretation. And some of the announcers say basically all those sorts of calls should just be turned over to one governing group, wherever it is. New York or wherever. Watch the replay, make the call, and be done. And then you got the same people looking at the same plays, making the same calls. But I don't think that'll ever happen. Yeah, Jason, exactly. He retweeted the same thing and wanted to know if he would get fined. Right. I mean, that's actually how my story started out. I saw a Kuzma go by, and it reminded me of that little exchange, and I was kind of chuckling that he's worried about getting fined for responding to the to the ref's Twitter account. So, I don't know. Kind of crazy. A-Rod, you like your Dwayne Wade? Good, man. I am glad. I'm glad that that makes you happy. Dwayne Wade's kind of a cool guy. He's kind of laid back. He seems to basically get along with everybody. There's not a lot of drama with him. Has a Steph Curry impact for the Warriors. Insert there. Dante DiVincenzo makes an appearance for the Milwaukee Bucks. She got a little Dante ink headed your way if you're Milwaukee. That is Astro. I always want to call it Astral. Like Astral, I don't know, instead of Astro, but it is actually just Astro. That's Impact again. That's Lonzo. Well, I know they do get fined for just about everything these days. I mean, the NFL in particular, what does the NFL do with all that money? That is groove. I mean, good Lord, they have fined Burfict on the Bengals alone has been fined over the course of his career somewhere close to $500,000. Not that he hasn't deserved most of them. That's Fractal for the Hornets. But, like, where does that money go? Does that go to player services, I guess? Like maybe it pays their insurance or their something. It's got to go to something player related. That is Liftoff die cut Donovan Mitchell and the Jazz. Here is a Sunburst Eric Bledsoe to 75. I would assume that it is part of the CBA. So I would assume the CBA dictates where that money goes from those fines. But I'd be curious to know how much they collect every year, particularly in the NFL. Got to be a tremendous amount. Oh, Greg, I just now looked back up and said you saw, I think you typed in Go Big Ben. You're hoping my Steelers get past the Patriots this weekend. Yeah, I remember you don't like the Patriots very much. Because I think that's about the only time you root for my Steelers, isn't it? I think. Yeah, about. Which that's okay, man. I'll take it. I'll take it. A-Rod is $450,000. Well, I knew it was up there. I knew it was just right around $500,000 for Burfict. I mean, he's had an amazing number of fines in his career. It's insane. Oh, all the money goes to charity. Okay. All right. Well, Greg and Jerry, thank you all for filling me in on that. I wondered what happened to it. Wonder what charities they go to. Why wouldn't you put it back into player services? You know, working on player safety or something. I mean, not that giving it to charity. I'm certainly not saying giving it to charity is a bad thing. It sounds like I'm saying giving it to charity is a bad thing. I'm not saying that. But certainly, I would think earmarking a portion of it would be good for that. But you also would think maybe some of it should go back to player services. But maybe not. I don't know. That is Fractal and Brandon Ingram. But it definitely doesn't cause some of them to learn a lesson anyway. Certainly doesn't cause Burfict to learn a lesson. He just racks them up, keeps going. Dennis Smith Jr. Liftoff. And here is a Sunburst that's going to be numbered to 75, and that is Isaiah Thomas for the Nuggets. I can't get used to Isaiah Thomas being a Nugget, but he is. And is this our Galactic case hit? I believe it is, isn't it? That is Zaire Smith. So the Sixers you already hit with his autograph earlier. Now you've got the Galactic case hit as well. So if you have the 76ers tonight, your rookie came out well for you. That was Astro. Well, A-Rod, right. CTE research, I could totally be down with all that money going to that. Yeah, and I'm kind of surprised they don't ask for that. I mean, maybe they don't have the option to dictate where some of those fines go, but you would think they would put that in the CBA. It's an Astro. Maybe next time. Astro again. That is Impact for Blake Griffin and Alonzo Ball. So Sixers are actually kind of coming along pretty well tonight in this break. Right now, I'd say the Sixers are probably ahead of the pack just because they got the case hit. Who is which guy? Zaire Smith? He is he's playing some for the Sixers. I mean, he's not Embiid, but I mean, Zaire Smith is playing for the Sixers, and he's actually, I think, been having some pretty productive minutes. Some of these guys, you know, you got to let them grow into it a little bit. Not many of them come out of the gate ready to go to the degree that Luka is. But that's because, I mean, he was playing with grown men in Europe. And that's, you know, hey, you guys all know how I feel about Luka. I said it before the draft. I said it during the draft, and I've said it since the draft. He was, in my opinion, he was always should have been the #1 pick. Because if you watched any of his tape from when he was playing internationally, the guy was incredible. For his age, especially. He's really quite young. He went on that 11-0 run the other night when they took down the Rockets. I mean, that was crazy. Himself, just Luka, went on an 11-0 run to close out the game. I mean, it was crazy. And then he got all excited. You know, he made that nice pass. And it was like jumping up and down with his arms in the air. He's just fun to watch. I like him. That is Cubic to 50. It is Zach LaVine and the Bulls. Well, Landry Shamet, of course, is doing better than Zaire Smith. But Zaire Smith has had some minutes, I think. And, you know, he's been, when he gets his minutes, I think he's fairly productive with them, right? I think. Fractal. I believe that he has had some productive minutes. So, yeah, I mean, okay, you might have been happier if it had been Landry. But, nonetheless, you're still happy to have the case hit if you have the Sixers, right? Like, nobody's going to be bummed to get the case hit, I don't think. Oh, he hasn't played? I thought he had played. So I really thought that he had played some limited minutes. So, Andrew, I must be thinking of somebody else entirely then. Because you said that he hasn't played at all because he's still dealing with an allergic reaction from training camp. Yeah, all right. Well, I've got him confused with somebody else then. That is Groove. I really thought the kid had played some minutes. But I guess I have him confused with somebody else. Because Andrew says he's not played. He had some kind of funky something happened to him in training camp and hasn't recovered apparently. That is Impact, Jaylen Brown. That's another Groove. Oh well. Still, it's the case hit, right? I mean, how sad are you going to be for getting the case hit? I would say. I don't know. Who did Zaire Smith play for in college? Where'd that kid go to college? Does anybody remember? I can't think where he went to school. I don't know if he came out as an undergrad or not. I'm sure he did. Almost everybody comes out as an undergrad these days, but... Oh, Josh, you said Zaire Smith has a foot injury. Okay. All right. I don't know. I've definitely got him confused with somebody else anyway, because I thought the kid had played some limited minutes and that they were reasonably productive, but apparently I have him flipped around with somebody else. Maybe the other, well, though, I mean, Landry's had more than limited minutes, but I don't know. I don't know who I have him confused with, but apparently I'm not thinking of the right kid either way. That you cut it. That was Groove that went by. There is Astro. And another Groove with Dennis Schroeder for the Chicago Bulls. Jerry, I don't know why my right thumbnail is so long. Probably because I broke the other one this week and I haven't evened them up. I guess because I've been busy this week. This is Justin Jackson to 100 for Cosmic. So I guess if that causes a distraction for you, then I will work on getting that cut back to match the other one before I do a break tomorrow night. How about that? There's Jerome Robinson. This is Impact for the Spurs. Of course, again, Impact is unnumbered. The Lakers got a little autograph love coming out for Kyle Kuzma. Nice hit for LA. There's a DeAnthony Melton Astro. Fractal for the Nuggets. And that is Astro. So I heard that the Bulls are shopping Jabari Parker, so like that didn't last long. Like, wonder who's going to take him. Somebody will take him, I'm sure. But I wonder what the asking price is going to be. I mean, they haven't even had him that long. They just picked him up in the off season. So what's he been there? A handful of games, a couple dozen games maybe, and they're already like, yeah, nah, you're out of the rotation. We don't want you. So looks like poor Jabari Parker is going to be on the move again. Yeah, well, guys, basically, I think they were both the same length until I broke that one a few days back. And I just didn't ever even them up, mainly because I've been busy and I didn't even really think about it. I just figured next time I have to go somewhere, probably be the next time I would think about that, which would be next week. But since it's causing you some mental distress, I will make sure that I get it taken care of for you tonight. Well, I imagine that you are right. I think their asking price will probably be pretty high. Kawhi Leonard comes out for the Raptors. See, I told you we get some good veteran autos out of this too. So there's a little Kawhi Leonard making somebody's life happy if you have the Raptors tonight. That is the Astro that went by. Finally, we see a Marvin Bagley with a pattern, fractal. Well, they all have patterns, but with a pattern that actually has a name on the back. Astro, again, that's Groove. Here's Cubic for the Jazz to 50 with Mitchell Robinson. And Astro again. And I thought there's a little, I thought Jaren Jackson maybe was some pattern, but I guess I just looked at it wrong because it's not. It is a nice little Rookie Revolution insert, but not a numbered pattern. Groove again. Fractal. And just the base, Zach LaVine for the Bulls. Jay Allen says to leave it. Yeah, well, I would have eventually gotten around to it anyway, so that will just hasten it. We'll just get it taken care of. Yeah, every time I think that I've heard it all, there's always something else. So that is one thing I've learned. I'm never going to hear it all. There'll always be an extra something. But at least that one I can fix, as opposed to the, guy who ripped me off for $200 because he didn't like the sound of my voice and then didn't like when I blocked him after he left me bad feedback for it and then came in and started typing a bunch of junk in chat like 2 weeks later. Can't do much about that one. I can fix the thumbnail though. Jeff, you hit that Kawhi Leonard, I'm assuming. I think. Jay Allen, you thought that I needed it to play guitar. No, I do not. I am not musically inclined, I'm afraid. Never learned how to play any musical instruments. For the Clippers to 100 Cosmic. That is Astro Mark Gasol. Impact Kevin Durant. On an insert, an impact insert, no less. And that is a little Kyrie Irving insert for the Celtics. And we come out with Fractal again for the Lakers on that one. Astro James Harden. Another Vortex insert. I kind of like the Vortex inserts this year. They're kind of cool. That was Groove. There's another Groove. And we are at, guess what time it is? It is Last Box Mojo time. Oh, Jerry, I know, man. I know you're not unhappy about it. I'm not talking about that. I mean, no, man, I get it. It's legit. It's a legitimate question. I never even gave it a second thought, to be honest. I have broken most of my nails off in the last 2 weeks or so. For whatever reason, I guess just the change in the weather or something, and we've been using the heat more. I don't know what it is, but for some reason my nails were really brittle, and like almost all of them broke off, except for this one fellow there who I guess I was hanging on to remind me that very recently all my nails were nice and long, and now they're all very, very short. A-Rod, yes, we will absolutely recap our autograph hits at the end for sure. And I think I have set most of our numbered cards aside. I might not have gotten every single one of them, but I think I did. I'm actually looking right now to see if I put the early Jaren Jackson in that pile or not. I think most of the numbered ones I have set aside, but maybe it's always possible, guys, that I missed a numbered one somewhere along the way, which I would find in sorting, or it's also possible that we saw a numbered one that we called when it went by, but I stacked it in the wrong stack. So basically it is this. If you saw it go by and it belongs to you, you're going to get it. That is Fractal Rudy Gobert and the Jazz. But hopefully I will have it where it will be recapped. But if there is one missing from recap, that's all it is, guys. It just means I stacked it in the wrong place somewhere along the way. That is Groove. Astro. That's Impact. Rookie Revolution for Trae Young. That's Jaren Jackson again with Astro. And then we had a Groove. And there you go. All right. Those are our 16 boxes. So yeah, it is time to take a little peek here at what we hit. So the numbered stuff that I set aside is here. Now again, it could be that as I said, there may be some other numbered things that I've stacked in the wrong place. So if you don't see it, don't worry. All the cards will be sorted and sent. These are just the ones I managed to get stacked out separately. That is numbered to 50. It is Jaren Jackson for the Grizzlies. And it was cubic, of course. It says Lou Williams and the Clippers, cosmic to 100. We have a little Mitchell Robinson, cubic to 50. Justin Jackson, cosmic to 100. Zach LaVine and the Bulls, cubic to 50. Isaiah Thomas and the Nuggets with a sunburst to 75. Another sunburst is Eric Bledsoe for the Bucks to 75. The Hawks with Prince, cubic to 50. And then we have Carroll for the Nets to 75 with sunburst. Kevin Knox came out in a cubic, or a cosmic rather, to 100 for the Knicks. Kyrie Irving for the Celtics with a sunburst to 75. There's Jason Tatum, cosmic to 100. Behind that is Ben Simmons and the Sixers to 100. De'Aaron Fox and the Kings to 75 with a sunburst. And a little Donovan Mitchell for the Jazz, cosmic to 100. Jason, you said that I just stacked a Jason Tatum. Did I just stack a Jason Tatum cubic in the wrong spot? How far back was it, man? If it's way far back, I don't know if I'll be able to find it. If it was really recent, I can try and find it for you. I can try and see. I don't really remember which I stacked on which, but I can try to find it for you if it was recent. Like in the last few little bit that we looked at there. All right, our autographs. Kawhi Leonard and the Raptors. Kyle Kuzma and the Lakers is our second. This is our case hit. Obviously, it's not autographed, but I put it in with our hits because it is our case hit. Galactic, Zaire Smith and the 76ers. And this is Dante DiVincenzo for the Bucks. It's autograph number 3. Autograph number 4 was Dwayne Wade and the Heat. Our 5th one is Trae Young for the Hawks. Number 6, Tracy McGrady and the Rockets. Number 7 was Mikal Bridges and the Suns. And number 8, Zaire Smith and the 76ers. So we did end up with 8 autographs. Of course, our case hit, our numbered cards, lots and lots of other patterns in there, but looking for the ones that were numbered. I think we caught most of them. It sounds like Jason's saying that maybe there was a Jason Tatum that I did not have set aside, but he didn't type in there how far back it was. So, like, there is a Jason Tatum, but that's definitely not cubic. So I don't know how far back that one was, guys. I'm looking real quickly through the tops of a couple of stacks to see if I see it. If I can find it, I will grab it. If not, of course, you know you're going to get it. Ah, there it is. There it is. We have found it. Hold on, kids. This is the one on the Shockwave cubic to 50 for the Celtics with Jason Tatum. So thank you, Jason, for catching that one. I appreciate that. Guys, always feel free. Jump in and tell me if you see something that went by that you think I've stacked and I've missed. Because if I haven't called it out to you or flipped it over to the back to show you the number, then yeah, I may have missed it. So it's definitely, I'm totally cool with you guys jumping in and saying, hey, go, look for this, look for that. And I know there's a little delay in chat, but most of the time it's not so far gone that we can't locate it somewhere in the near vicinity, usually. And of course, I'm always happy to do that if one shot by me. All right, so, you were asking me the next revolution, Greg. Well, hang on. Let's just flip back to that page real quick, and then I can tell you. So we are doing Revolution again, not until Tuesday. Why do I not have it until Tuesday? I don't know, but I don't. So looks like we're doing it again on Tuesday. Another 16-box master case is going to be the next Revolution. And then it'll probably be again towards the end of next week as well, somewhere in there. So, yeah, but Tuesday looks like our next step for that. Now, for anybody who did not catch this earlier, we are looking at getting this stuff, or I am looking at getting this stuff out the door to you probably by Tuesday, on or before Tuesday. Maybe a little bit sooner, but just kind of plan on Tuesday, and if it goes out earlier, then so much the better. And of course, everybody, I'm sure all the teams pulled something in Revolution. I'm equally sure that everybody's going to pull something here in Bowman Draft, because it's got a lot of cards in it too. So that is what you need to know there. Consolation cards don't apply up there, since every team is going to pull cards out of here. This is a 4-box break of 2018 Bowman Draft Jumbo. It's a half-case break. It's break number 1. Like everything else we opened tonight, it ended tonight on eBay Friday night, the 14th of December. And, of course, this is the start of a new case, because this is a new release for today, just like Revolution was. And that means I'm going to take all 8 of our boxes out. I will put them on the table. I will number them on the end, and then I'll bring you along with me. We'll roll over to random.org, and we'll use random to pick out which 4 we open tonight versus which 4 we'll be opening next week. So let's get this rolling. Yeah, the poor UPS guy, man, he was definitely giving me the evil eye today, because I had 3 very, very large, very, very heavy boxes show up, and he had to lug them all in the rain. And it was not my regular guy. It wasn't Rico. And this guy was just looking at me like, oh, I can't believe you have all this stuff. Because the Bowman's really heavy, because I have like 6 cases or so of Bowman. And that's all really heavy. And then I had 4 or 5 cases of Revolution. And I want to say there was something else that came today too, and I can't even think what it was. Oh, some more playbook. I already had playbook, but I ordered in some additional. And yeah, so the guy was just totally unhappy with me. I'm going to lug 3 gigantic boxes through the rain. All right, so once again, numbering these just for the purpose of being able to determine which ones we're going to open tonight versus which ones we're going to open in the next break. So we're going to roll over here, get ourselves to random. And it's pretty simple. I'm just going to type in 1 through 8. I will hit random 1 single time. First 4 numbers will open those corresponding boxes. All right, so it gives us 4, 7, 6, and 2. So 2, 4, 6, and 7 is what we're opening up tonight. Okie dokie. Let me pull box number 8 out of there. Give me a second to get these other 4 put back into their case, and then we'll get started on this one. Okay, Josh, you're looking for some Mets, huh? You're looking for the big booming Mets hits. All right, guys, we are looking for 3 autograph cards. And, of course, in addition to our autograph cards in every box, we're going to find plenty of parallels and inserts and other things. And there is just a gigantic amount of cards in here. Yeah, a lot. There's, like what, I'm not good with math in my head, but there's probably close to 400 cards or so per box, maybe a little over 400 cards per box. So it's going to take a while to get through it all. Jay Allen, you need some Astros, huh? All right, and you're going to head off to bed, so you're going to leave us here charged with finding you some Astros. All right, then we'll try and do that then. Jerry, you're looking for the Braves. Okay. All right. And then Josh is looking for Brady Singer and Royals. Well, we'll see what we can come up with, guys. Now, of course, we're going to find a certain number of chrome parallels in here as we go along. I'm sure everyone is aware of that. If they are refractors, I will call them out. Otherwise, if they're just the base chrome, then they'll go right on as normal. And Jonathan India for my Cincinnati Reds has a nice insert here. But guess what? He's not alone on there. He has Nick Madrigal and the White Sox. So you guys know what that means. Has to go over here in housekeeping because we're going to find more of those, absolutely for sure, that have two teams on them because that insert series is set up that way. We'll give all those out using random.org at the end of the break. For the Milwaukee Brewers, this is a nice little chrome refractor parallel there. And again with Casey Mize for the Detroit Tigers, our #1 overall draft pick with a first Bowman chrome refractor for the Tigers. Making things happy. That is not a good camera angle for Josh Naylor, is it? Doesn't it make him look like makes him look like he's a bigger guy than I think he actually is. I'm just saying, just saying. That's just the way it's just how I see it anyway. Josh, Super Jumbo is, is a completely different deal. Super Jumbo has, well, it's, as the name implies, more of everything. There's more autographs, there's more base cards, there's more of everything. But Super Jumbo, we couldn't buy as much of as we could regular Jumbo. This is actually kind of a conversation we were having last night, just in general, about baseball in particular. They limit you as to what you can buy. I'm sure everybody knows that. All these distributors, they don't just let us buy what we want to buy. And then oftentimes, especially with a product that is a Bowman product, or really even Topps Chrome, they also make you do sets. So, you know, maybe you have to buy 3 regular Jumbo to end up with, you know, 1 Super Jumbo. Or sometimes the ratio is 2 to 1. Occasionally it's 4 to 1, but that's really unusual. But yeah, that's how it goes. This is Parker Meadows, first Bowman for the Detroit Tigers. So the Tigers have had a few come out. This is the Rockies and the Braves. And once again, it's going to go over here in our housekeeping area with the 2 different teams on it that will get squared away at the end of the break. There's another refractor, Royce Lewis and the Twins. The Boston Red Sox with a refractor for Tristan Casas. And then we're back to our paper cards after that. So yeah, some of those things, like when you get to the Super Jumbos and things, I wouldn't mind breaking some of that as full cases, but the issue is just the vast amount of cards that are in it, the paper cards and stuff. Jerry said his belly is smaller than my thumbnail. Well, then I need to put my thumbnail on a diet, don't I? That's what needs to happen. So, and then he needs to put his belly on a diet, and I need to put my thumbnail on a diet. The camera adds 10 pounds to my thumbnail. There, of course, all of your chrome parallels. We have our Bowman Sterling continuity. This one is Casey Mize for the Tigers. And refractors, once again. You know what, guys? Most of these base refractors, I'm going to just set them aside, and I'm going to do their sleeves after the break, unless you want them all done individually right now as we go through. I can. It just adds time. Otherwise, I will do them after the break. If you have a preference, you can jump in and state the preference. And if you don't have a preference, then I will stack them aside and we'll do the refractors, or maybe after every box I'll stop and do them. That might be the easier way to go. Hey, we have ourselves a little powder blue, which means we have a numbered card. It is Noah Naylor for the Cleveland Indians. That is numbered to, does that say did that say 492 or 402? 402, 402 on that one for the Indians. And the Mariners have a little franchise futures insert. Then our refractors, well, we better go on and just put him in one right now. We'll put Alec in one anyway. Because, well, it's Alec. It's Griffin Roberts refractor coming out for the Cardinals. Yeah, shipping is going to be crazy for this. It's going to be terrible, absolutely terrible to sort all this. It is absolutely going to be the worst. I don't like sorting big breaks like this. I don't think anybody probably likes sorting big breaks like this, but it's part of it. And honestly, if I didn't have to ship all the base cards, I would gladly break this stuff in full cases. I would prefer to break it in full cases, but I don't prefer to do a 2,500 card sort. So Cal Quantrill for the San Diego Padres. That is our green parallel to 99. We have another franchise future. That one is the Detroit Tigers, a refractor for the A's and a refractor for Cole Winn and the Rangers. Texas Rangers, baby. Oh, Sean, you said Cleveland traded Yonder Alonso to the White Sox. What'd they get in return? What came back on the other side of that trade? It's been it was kind of a quiet winter meeting. I mean, I thought anyway that they didn't really get a whole lot accomplished. Well, this is a nice little parallel here for Jared Kalenic. If I can manage to, well, there's two sleeves in a row split before we ever even tried to get a card in them. So that's a nice little parallel for the Mets. Pretty cool. And, sorry, there's Jamison Hanna for the A's as our refractor. And then for the Twins, Ryan Jeffers. You think they got a prospect back in return? Okay. Yeah, well, I mean, Cleveland they were talking about trading Trevor Bauer, I think, is the last I heard out of Cleveland, that might be coming up as a possibility. So I don't know. It seems like everybody is saying that all their good players are available, but then nobody really actually trades them. So who knows? And there's our insert again. This is Travis Swaggerty for the Pirates. A nice little Joe Adele refractor. I am going to put him in one as we go too. I know. Playing favorites, aren't I? Thad Ward is our other refractor for the White Sox. Wow, Josh, you said the Kalenic Super is already on eBay for $24,000. I'm assuming, is that the unsigned one or the signed one? You know, what in the world? I did not do a good job getting in that pack. He's been coming out pretty readily out of Leaf Metal Draft. But, of course, he goes to the Mariners, at least in my breaks for Leaf Metal Draft, because that's his current team. And, of course, the Leaf cards don't have team affiliations on them, so I always send them to the current team, which in his case is the Mariners. But, anyway, he has been coming out with some regularity out of Leaf Metal Draft. That goes in our housekeeping area. We have a refractor for the Blue Jays and another one for Abreu and the Yankees. Yeah, it's crazy, some of these guys, but, sometimes that's the least amount you're going to get them for. If they turn out to be all that in a box of chocolate, then that might look like a bargain somewhere down the road. 24,000. It's so hard to gauge. Purple, Chris Paddock, numbered to 250. It's paper, if you're interested in the Padres. It is not chrome on that one. Are we finally going to get ourselves to an autograph here? Perhaps Caden and the Orioles. And it's a nice little refractor to 499. Little first Bowman happiness for the Orioles. And did I accidentally stack? I did. I stacked all these base cards over there where, just making sure that they were the ones we already looked at, where my autograph should have gone. There's Jordan Adams' first Bowman refractor and Rivas for the A's refractor. It was the Superfractor autograph? Okay. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Well, on the insert, though, but still, yeah. That's crazy, though. Sometimes those things come out the very first day in the first hour. Other times you have weeks of breaking before they ever show up. So he showed up really early today then. That is numbered to 499. It is for the Giants and paper. Another franchise futures. Pavin Smith for the D-backs and Burrows for the Tigers. So, I mean, you guys see how the pack is constructed. You know that it's the first of the chromes are not refractors. The last couple there are. So I'm not going to say refractor every single time through all these packs unless someone just wants me to. Otherwise, I think you're either A, going to recognize them from their pretty little rainbow of colors, or B, you know where to expect them based on how the packs are structured. Jesus Sanchez to 499 for the Tampa Bay Rays. Oh, my Cincinnati Reds. Franchise futures. And a little autograph for Trevor Larnach for the Twins. So that's our second. We should still have one autograph left, which means it's going to be right there in a minute. That's the Tigers and the Cubbies with Nico. Haha, that's a nice try, Josh. Nice try, man. Josh is saying, hey, the Mets should get a discount since that Superfractor's come out for Kalenic on one of the cards. Yeah, it doesn't quite work that way, but that was a nice try. I give you props for going for it anyway. We have another dual team coming up here. Trying to clear a space so I could set it down. And that one's the Diamondbacks and the Rays. Basically, I hit my camera again, didn't I? Daggone it. I am going to do all of those at once. Well, you know what? You still think the Mets want a refund? I don't think so, because look who it is. Yeah, there's your man, Jared Kalenic, on his first Bowman coming out for the Mets. Making your life happy after all, huh? How about that? You like it better now, I suspect. Brendan McKay on a nice refractor. All right, that is box number 1 taken care of. We're now going to roll on into our second of 4. I'm trying to kind of clear out that little middle spot. There's something about some of the colors on the boxes that both Topps and Panini use. Certain colors will cause the camera to kind of wash out. It's very strange. It's like the camera doesn't know how to process the color or some such. So sometimes, see, like it's doing it right now. It's all like blasting out of there. And sometimes if I can clear out a little space more towards the middle where it looks back into there, it will go away. But it doesn't seem to be the case tonight. It seems to still be doing the exact same thing, which is strange, but I don't know. And it's not like it was a cheap camera. It was actually a, you know, one of the higher priced ones, supposedly, because it didn't do weird stuff like that, but it does. It does do weird stuff like that. Jay Allen, you're headed off to bed. All right, my friend, and we will continue to try and find some Astros for you. We will do our best. For the A's, that is Alfonso Rivas, numbered to 402. Franchise futures for the Royals. Padres with Logan Allen. The Angels with Matt Ice. Josh, you said you're not a Mets fan either, huh? Well, listen, you don't have to be a fan to make money on them. I guess it depends. If you're buying it for your personal collection, then yeah, you're probably not going to buy a team that you don't like. But if you're just looking to flip them around and make a little money, well, yeah, sometimes you have to buy the teams that you don't like to accomplish that. That is the Rockies and the Padres. But I will admit it's hard to do. I mean, for me, in baseball, it doesn't really matter to me. I'm fine with about any baseball team. Even though I'm a Reds fan, I don't have what I would call a lot of rivalries with other teams. Well, because I'm just used to my Reds losing, so it's all good. But, you know, if you get me in football or something, even though I like players on other teams and often enjoy watching other teams, you get me against the right division rival, and yeah, it would be really hard for me to say bye the Ravens in a break. It would be difficult. White Sox and Blue Jays on that one. The Phillies, Colton Eastman and Blaine Enlow for the Twins. You're a Braves fan. Well, you know what? You guys have got such a nice, fun, young group of guys. You can't go too wrong there. Oh, Jerry, you do not like the Cardinals. All right. All right, man. With the Cardinals must be a division rival for you then, huh? Is that the case? Cardinals making your life miserable, are they? Franchise futures, that one does refract, and it is numbered as well as a result. It's for the Mets. It's numbered to 250, and you've got Kalinick and Cortez on that one. Then we have Indians and Royals sharing a card up there into housekeeping. The Marlins and the Cardinals, that was Lucan, have our two refractors out of that particular pack. Oh, you hit the Dynasty 1 of 1, and if it was chipper, you would have kept it. Yeah, well, you have to, I guess, some of those things, it's really difficult to know what to do with. There are definitely hits that when they're worth a lot of money, it is super, for me anyway, it's super hard to justify keeping in my personal collection when I know it's worth a lot of money, and like you kind of go, ooh, that would finance so many more breaks. So sometimes I keep them for a while and then move them on. Sometimes I keep them forever. That's numbered to 150 for the Diamondbacks. That's blue paper Goddard. But I do have some of that stuff I need to sell, which I will eventually. I've got a 1 of 1 Kobe Bryant autograph I need to sell, and a 1 of 1 Jamal Murray. But it's just stuff I kind of didn't want to. Kind of wanted to keep it, but now I've got so much stuff, I kind of need to be moving through some of it. The Marlins and Will Banfield. See, Jerry's with me. Jerry's a Cincinnati Reds fan. Jeter Downs for my Reds, speaking of, and there's a Nick Prado for the Royals. I keep just waiting for my Reds to make a big move. I mean, they say they're going to spend money. They're acting like they're going to spend money. We are, I guess, spending a little bit. We picked up Tanner Roark from the Nationals. Gave up Tanner, what's his head, from our prospects, Haney, maybe? I forget his last name even, but then they said he's looking at the Marlins catcher, Realmuto, and why? Like, we have Tucker Barnhart. I mean, maybe he's a little of an upgrade over Tucker Barnhart, but not worth probably the money and the prospects it would cost us to get him. This is for the White Sox. We got a little gold finally, numbered to 50, and that is Jonathan Stiver. We need to find ourselves some orange still yet. We haven't seen any orange yet or any red. It's Greg Deichmann for the A's and Shed Long for my Cincinnati Reds. Well, listen, I know I'm mad about the Billy Hamilton thing. I know that Billy Hamilton doesn't have as much power behind the plate as anybody wants, and so he's considered to be a liability on offense because of that. But yet, I don't know. I think he makes up for it. He's exceptional at stealing bases. He makes plays in the outfield that nobody else could make. I mean, defensively, he's outstanding. And I just like Billy Hamilton. I was really sad that we traded him. I mean, I saw that. Well, we didn't trade him, actually, at all. We just didn't pick him up. We just let him become a free agent, and he just walked. I mean, we didn't get anything for him. But I'm just sad that he's gone. There is Alec for the Phillies in a Bowman Sterling continuity. Colorado Rockies with Grant Levine and a little Ryan Jeffers for the Twins. So, yeah, I was super bummed about Billy Hamilton being gone. He's always been one of my favorites, and it sounds like we'll probably ultimately be getting rid of Scooter Gennett, too. Because he's going to want more money than we're going to give him. Of course, we picked him up for next to nothing, and he turned out to be really quite better than we expected him to be. But, yeah, he's another one. I like Scooter. I don't want Scooter to leave, but probably going to. Maybe not right away, but he's going to, I think. There's Casey Mize. Nice little insert for the Tigers. Rockies, Ryan Valade, and the Red Sox. Jerry, yeah, it made you mad too about Billy Hamilton? Or about Scooter? Which one? You didn't say which one. But yeah, it's like, I don't know, anytime we seem to get anybody that's halfway decent besides Joey Votto, like, we keep them for about a day and then they're gone. But then you get somebody in that we're supposed to be bringing in as a reclamation project, and then we keep him. Like, come on, man. We didn't need to keep him. But it happens. I think the owners just get attached to some of those guys. That's the 250. It's for the Orioles. It is the purple parallel on a chrome card. Franchise futures for the Reds, Tampa Bay Rays, and the Diamondbacks. So I guess we'll see what happens. But, you know, the Matt Harvey thing never made sense to me, because I thought that was the whole deal with Matt Harvey. We were going to bring him, we brought him in cheap, you know, because we didn't really need Mesoraco, and he was always injured anyway. So I think we got him on the cheap. The idea was if he helps us out a little, fine, and if he can get himself semi-straightened back out, he's a good trade chip. So all that happens, he helped us out a little, he got himself straightened out, and then we don't trade him. Well, you know what? He's never going to be the Matt Harvey of old. We should have traded him, but we didn't, so we'll see. to $4.99. That is Brennan Davis and the Chicago Cubbies. Does it make you miss the days of Marge Schott, Jerry? And Homer Bailey, I know. But I think Homer Bailey we have to keep because of the contract, right? I don't think anybody's going to take on his contract, and we can't get out from under it. So, yeah. Homer Bailey is one that's like, best days are long behind him. That is numbered to 50. So we have another gold coming out. This one is for the Colorado Rockies. It is Ryan Rollison with a little ink on it. Pirates and the A's both hit with refractors. So, yeah, I just don't know what we're going to do with pitching. If we haven't gotten it straightened out by now, it just kind of makes you wonder if we're going to be able to ever get it straightened out. Because I tell you what, I feel like I have been in a rebuild for the last 7 decades. Realistically, it's been, 5 years or something like that, but it just feels like it's been a lot longer. My poor Cincinnati Reds. Well, on the good news side, it's not hard to get tickets. Just saying. This is Grayson Rodriguez insert coming out on that one. And then we have a Diamondbacks and a Yankees refractor, Ryder Green. Ryder Green and Steele Walker are my 2 favorites out of the names, out of the draft class. They're just both excellent names. Hey, we got a gold paper, and it's for the Astros. So at least we got Jay Allen something low numbered. At least we got him a nice gold first Bowman here. It's paper. It's to 50. Cody Dason, one or the other. Franchise futures for the Padres. Looks like the Diamondbacks are in business with Alex Thomas. Ryan Mountcastle and Bo Burrows, both with refractors. So I know we're in baseball right now, but if any of you follow basketball, you probably know that the Phoenix Suns are just dreadful. And they are every year. They always have, like, you know, if not the #1 draft pick, way up at the top. They get all these young guys. They somehow still can't manage to put a product on the floor that's worth watching. Despite having these individually good players, they just can't seem to get it together. And the owner, nobody really likes the owner. Nobody in Phoenix, well, I shouldn't say nobody. A lot of people in the public do not really care for the owner of the Suns. And so then he comes out recently and says, oh, blah, 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 build me a new arena. And if you don't, just maybe I'll consider taking the team away from Phoenix or whatever. So they have a press conference recently, and this lady gets up, and she's like, I don't know how old she is. If I had to eyeball it, I would say she's probably 70s, maybe 80s. And she gets up in this town hall meeting and just rips the guy a new one about how he doesn't, invest in any good players like a normal franchise would, and how he doesn't do this and he doesn't do that, and they shouldn't finance his new arena and blah, blah, blah. And so the reason I bring this up is I feel like if they ever had a town forum for the Cincinnati Reds, that's what would happen. We would have, like, grandma standing up there saying, you have been rebuilding for 900 years and you are terrible. That is Alec for the Phillies. So, I don't know. Sam Carlson for the Mariners, and then the Angels with Jahmai Jones. But yeah, I mean, she just let them have it, too. She was having none of it. She's like, the taxpayers do not need to be funding entertainment product, and they should be able to pay their own bills, basically, and da-da-da-da-da. It was crazy. Well, I know that's what I said, Jerry. I said it makes you miss Marge. I mean, because Marge, for all of Marge's many faults, and there were many, 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 she did spend the money and field a team, a good one. Okay, Marge was not, as you say, Marge was not afraid to like just get in there and get it done. So, you know, yes, there are many things about Marge that we should not and do not miss, but there are also things about Marge that you kind of go, huh, yeah, that would be nice to have. For the Pirates, that is Cal Mitchell. Another dual team card up there in housekeeping. Matt Sauer and Kenyon Irizarry, or something somewhat similar to that, maybe, perhaps. All I know is that revenue should be high enough, even in a little small market team like Cincinnati, because of revenue sharing and everything else. We should be able to field a decent team, and we have not been. So something's got to give. They need to get something going up there for my poor Reds. For the Marlins, that is Will Banfield. And then you have Alec Thomas again for the D-backs. And for the goodness sakes, for everything that is good and nice in the world, please stop drafting infielders and trading for more infielders. We have a stacked infield. Thank you very much, whoever is managing all of that. Stop bringing us more. Go get us pitchers. The New York Yankees Ryder Green Purple Parallel Paper to 250 for the Yankees. Kansas City Royals and Brady Singer. I believe that was exactly someone's wish list, wasn't it? I think so. There it is. There is your Brady Singer. We're just making dreams come true tonight. You guys are asking, we're delivering. Tampa Bay Rays. There's the Houston Astros. Well, you have to admit, that's not too bad. We did pull, somebody asked for the Kalenic and we got it. You asked for the Brady Singer and we got it. I mean, you know, we're kind of hitting on it. We're kind of firing on the cylinders in terms of what's been requested. Ah, Joshua, you are still on. Good. All right. So you know you have your Brady Singer then. Making you happy with that one, hopefully. Here is a green parallel for the Mariners. This is Josh Stowers to 99. First Bowman. It is the chrome parallel as well, if I didn't say that. The Yankees with franchise futures. Diaz and Corbin Martin. Our two refractors out of that pack. You know, maybe what we should do, I'm thinking forward as to our other cases of Bowman Draft, Jumbo and Super Jumbo. Maybe we'll do one where we will do the full case, but the base won't ship, or the base cards won't ship. The base, or all of the paper base would be its own bidding category. And then the chrome base and the inserts and the autographs would ship. That we could possibly do and do it in one break. That is to 402 for the Miami Marlins. How do you all feel about that? If we did it that way. Maybe. Red Sox and the Angels. So that's a possibility if we did a full case. Jerry, what did you say here? You said all Walt leftovers. Yeah, pay the hitters and develop the pitching. I agree with you on that. Martin, hey, Martin. Oh, I have not heard about that. You said there's a 1-of-1 Tom Brady in playbook with Tom's autograph, but Gronkowski on the printing plate. That's just crazy. Well, way to go, Panini. That is messed up, man. A 1-of-1 Tom Brady, and they put the wrong printing plate with Gronkowski on it. Wow. Well, you know, sometimes those things end up being more valuable because they're weirdo mistakes, but that's a 1-of-1 Tom Brady's kind of a bad one to mess up, you know? Like, what the what? Tampa Bay Rays to 402. That is Grant Witherspoon. It was the chrome variation. It's franchise futures for the White Sox. White Sox with Dylan Cease, and then there's Griffin for the Blue Jays, both refractors. Yeah, Matthew, I'm thinking that we might go that route. Not obviously this first case. I mean, we're doing half here. We've already got the other half scheduled, and this will rock on just like it is. But what I'm thinking is that we may, on some of these other cases, do them as full cases and do it like that, where chrome would ship, inserts would ship, obviously autographs would ship, but no paper cards would ship. All the paper, unless it was obviously an autograph or, you know, numbered. All the paper base. That's the right way to say it. The paper base would have its own bidding category, and it would either, you know, somebody would either buy it or not. But as far as sorted out into teams, maybe it would just be the chrome and that sort of thing. So we might do that with some of these other cases. Jonathan India in the Reds. Bowman Sterling continuity. There's Jake Wong and Armenteros. Because if you did it like that, you would be able, I would easily be able to break a whole case. I mean, it would take us a while, you know, it might take us a couple of hours, but that's not that big a deal. The sorting would be tremendous for that, though. The sorting would be probably take more than a day just to get it sorted and prepped to ship, unless I broke it out like what we were just discussing. So maybe we do that. Martin, I know, right? How do you mess up? Well, just not even a Tom Brady 1-of-1. How do they mess up any 1-of-1? That's just terrible. Franchise futures and the Mets. There's the Kansas City Royals, a little Brady Singer, first Bowman refractor, and the Rays with Nick Schnell, first Bowman refractor. Well, Josh, I wouldn't want to break this out into sets and sell it as a set or anything. Good grief, no. Oh, heavens, no. I would list all of the paper base as a bidding category. And if somebody wanted to buy it, fine. And if they didn't, they would all get just put in a box and eventually donated to, like, the children's wing at the hospital or something like that. Oh, no. I have no interest in doing any kind of set building and all that. No, thank you. That is Ryan Weathers coming out on a little insert there. And the Mariners and the Rangers have our refractors from that pack. Now, and you know, I don't know how some of those people do it, but they're probably, I guess, more so before breaks became so popular, although still going on, maybe not to quite the same degree. But the people who do set building for resale, oh, I just can't even imagine how awful that would be. You know, where you got maybe 30, 40 cases, 50 cases of Series 1 or Heritage or something like that, where you've got to sit down and open all that and then sort all that into sets. Oh, no. To me, that would just be absolute torture. The breaking part is fun. The sorting part is not fun. That's just the sad truth of the matter. the Blue Jays. And you have a nice little purple parallel that is to 250. Purple chrome first Bowman Groshans for the Blue Jays. There's Brian Miller for the Marlins and the Padres with Chris Paddock. We had a Chris Paddock refractor already. Scott, you just hit a Karl Anthony Towns Galactic insert. Nice, man. Nice. You know, anytime you hit the Galactic case hit, that is excellent. So for sure, that is always a good thing. It's usually like any other product, your hot rookies are going to command usually a higher price than your veterans on that sort of thing. But I mean, Karl Anthony Towns is a big enough name. I would certainly still think you could make a little money on it. I don't know exactly what that would bring. You might Google it, though, just because he may have, you know, he probably had some from last year and stuff. You could even look at last year to give an idea of how it sold then. Estevan Florial, that is paper blue to 499 for the Yankees. Well, Matthew, you like sorting through your cards because they're just your cards and you probably are talking about a few hundred, whereas this would be talking about a few thousand. You know, there's a big difference in sorting a few hundred and sorting a few thousand. There's also a big difference in sorting stuff that then doesn't have to be like shipped out and all that. This is also for the Royals to 499. There's your man, Chris Bubick. You know I'm going to get it wrong. There's the Red Sox and the Brewers, both with refractors. So, yeah, I mean, my personal stuff, for sure. And, like, when I get in orders from breaks, if I've been in somebody else's break, yeah, I love to flip through them when they get here and see what's there. But that's hundreds of cards. Imagine if you had like a pile of 3,000 cards, all of which had to be sorted by team. And then you had to get it ready to ship. Because even after you sort, the sort's actually the quickest part. In a big break like that, to sort 3,000 cards would probably take, I don't know, a couple of hours, 2.5 hours, something like that. But then to actually get them all in top loaders and sleeves and team bags and get them properly prepared to ship out would probably take about another 5 hours, about roughly 4 to 5 hours. Doesn't seem like it would, but it does. And then you'd still have to go through and print the labels, get the labels on and all that. Yeah, like 3,000 cards would probably take a full day, a full like 8-hour day to get out the door. That is a Bowman Sterling continuity for the Red Sox. Cleveland Indians, Delgado, and the Braves with Janista. Both are refractors. So yeah, on the other hand, if you can take all the paper base and it just goes boom in one big fell swoop, then that cuts things down considerably. Makes life easier. Yeah, Scott, I wish I could tell you for sure on Karl Anthony Towns, but I haven't priced him as a Galactic insert. Just in general, the rookies on the Galactic are, you know, typically, like with most products, I mean, the rookies cycle through as probably your primary chase in any of that, especially in basketball, maybe more so than in baseball. But in basketball, yeah, the rookies are usually the chase. There is Jesus Sanchez to 250, purple parallel chrome Tampa Bay Rays. We have another dual team card up there. Here are the Astros. There's Cody again with a first Bowman refractor, and there's Cal again for the Padres. Oh, yeah, Josh, for sure you have to, yeah, it is definitely, like if I were sorting a break that big, I would have to get up and take some mental breaks. I can sit and sort for about an hour straight through without getting too antsy. And after an hour, like, I've got to get up and walk around for a few minutes and then come back and sit back down. But the sorting, as I said, is not nearly as bad as the getting it prepared to ship out, which always seems like it should be so much faster. You would think the sorting would be the longest part, but it's actually the fastest part somehow. I still don't know why that is, but it is. Ryan Mountcastle for the Orioles, and for the A's, we have a little Alfonso Rivas. But honestly, even just doing, if let's say we did a full case of Bowman Draft and we took all of the paper base and said it was its own shipping and bidding category, I mean, you're talking about a package that would probably weigh 25 pounds or more. So even that, you know, wouldn't be, the shipping would probably be the most expensive part of that, even. Just because of the sheer weight factor. For the Oakland A's, that is numbered to 150. Blue Chrome Parallel. Franchise Futures for the Padres. The Mets with Richardson, and then you have a little Gorman for the Cardinals. And I would actually probably ship those in the storage boxes too. You know, those plastic storage boxes. With that many cards, yeah, you probably have, I would guess, let's say it was 2,500 cards. It's not probably exactly that, but let's say it was, actually it'd probably be closer to 3,000 in a case of Bowman Draft. Out of the 3,000, probably 2,000 plus would probably be that paper base. But there are always people that, you know, will send messages and say, oh, I would buy the, I would buy all of your paper base from any of the breaks that you have, like, of certain products. And, you know, but they want to give you like $30 for the whole thing, and you're thinking, dude, I couldn't even ship it to you for $30. Like, I would spend more than $30 on the little plastic boxes to put the cards in. That'd probably cost me more than 30 bucks. You know, then the postage, but they're like, yeah, I'll give you $30 for it. I don't know about that. This is Nick Sandlin. It is numbered to 402 for the Cleveland Indians. The Orioles have a franchise futures, a Philly, and a nice Joe Adele for the Angels refractors. Oh, what is with these sleeves tonight? Jerry, you're looking for some Braves mojo here at the end of the evening here in our last box. We're going to try to work the last box Braves mojo. Let's do it, man. Let's do it, do it. Let's see what we can accomplish in terms of Braves mojo. We still owe Jay Allen a little Astros mojo, even though he had to head off to bed. We promised him we'd still work his mojo for him. So the Rockies, and a nice little Casey Mize refractor for the Tigers. And we're closing in on it. We've already looked at those. We are getting there, getting there. We're not too far off of how long I thought it would take us. Revolution was kind of the wild card. I thought it would be about, you know, somewhere in the neighborhood of 50 minutes to an hour, and I think it was about that. This is Mitchell White to 499 paper Dodgers. And we really might have even tried to tackle a full case of this tonight if I hadn't also had Revolution to do. For the Astros, oh, we're changing Jay Allen's luck finally. He has been on a cold streak, he says. This is going to make him very happy. It is Jason, can I speak? It is Jason Schroeder for the Astros. First bowman, green parallel to 99. That's going to make Jay Allen happy. I'm glad we hit that. Monty Harrison for the Marlins, Tampa Bay Rays, and Jesus Sanchez. Now, Jerry, we got to find your Braves. I think we've answered just about everybody's mojo call tonight except your Braves. So we've got to try to conjure up a little something for you, man. Maybe we should call upon the Lucky Long Fingernail and see if the Lucky Long Fingernail can deliver for you. Maybe we shouldn't cut it. Maybe it brings luck. Maybe. Jonathan India and the Reds. For the Cubbies, Aramis Aidman, Connor Scott, and the Marlins. Oh, Josh, did we hit? I don't know how many we've already hit out of this box. I actually wasn't counting. Are you saying we've already hit all 3 autographs out of this last box? It didn't seem like we did, but maybe we did already. Well, if that's the case, then we'll have to work our Braves mojo to try to get you a good parallel if we actually have already hit them. I didn't realize we had, but... Kansas City Royals franchise futures. The Marlins. And the Rangers with Cole Winn. Saw me slide what 3 back? What are we talking about? Oh, these packs. Oh, I gotcha. Oh, yeah, I don't know. Sometimes they just get in my way. I don't know why. I just move them around on the table sometimes for I don't really know what reason. Same reason I sometimes move the boxes around. For whatever reason, they just like, I think, yeah, I need to move that. No real rationale. Just, yeah, kind of what I do sometimes. There is the Nationals with a refractor and another one for the Orioles. 2 packs left. I think in the last case there, I was opening some packs, and then I thought, yeah, it's probably as many as I want to look at right now. We'll wait and open the others. So I just kind of absent-mindedly stacked them up and slid them back there. Grant Witherspoon to 99, Tampa Bay Rays. That's green paper, first bowman. Hey, Orioles. You have got yourself a little class of 2018 parallel and numbered to 50 gold. Orioles, how about it? It's your man Caden. It's a nice little hit. And Alex Kirilloff for the Twins, along with Brandon Marsh for the Angels. All right, last pack. Josh, you said when you were growing up that long nail meant something. I don't know. What does it mean, man? I don't know. I have no idea what it means. Other than I just broke the other one off so they don't match anymore. I don't know what it's supposed to mean. I was just being funny saying the lucky long nail because Jerry was cracking on my long thumbnail earlier. That's the only reason I said it. That is Eloy Jimenez to 499 for the White Sox. Blue paper parallel. And no, I did not know which ones are the autographs. I have no idea which ones are the autographs out of any of these. Because I don't pay attention, you know, when I take the packs out of the box. And I really don't know if it's a predictable pattern or not. Sometimes in some products it is kind of a predictable pattern where you can find the autographs in the box, and others it's not. Jake Wong, that is first bowman for the Giants. And even if it were, I wouldn't have opened enough of it yet to have figured out the pattern. That is for the Oakland A's, and then we have the Giants with Ramos. Although, interestingly enough, there were 2 of the 3 out of those 3 packs, so that is kind of weird, isn't it? that is unusual, but yeah, no, I did not know which ones were which. Okay, kids, we are going to recap in a moment. However, we have a little stack of these to deal with first. And each one of these has 2 teams on them, of course. We'll take a quick look through so you'll know which cards are in play. What's going to happen is this. I'm going to roll over to random.org. We're going to type in left side and right side. Well, we're not going to type it in. I'm going to type it in. You guys are just going to join me. And I will then hit random 3 different times. The first 2 will not count. It's only going to be that third random that's going to make the determination. That's going to tell us how it's going to, where those cards are going to go. So it's either going to go to the team on the left side of the card or the team on the right side of the card the whole way through that stack. And random's going to pick it out for us. Okay, I always type in whatever's on the left first, right second, or if it's a top to bottom, I would always type in top first, bottom second, just FYI. All right, so here we go, kids. Ignore the first one. You can ignore the second one. This is our third and final. You'll see there 3 times. Our date and time stamp, it comes up as the right side of the card. So I'm going to put one of these fellows in a sleeve here so that I can circle the right hand side of the card, and then that way when I'm sorting later, guess what, I won't have to come back and watch this to remind me. Okay, so that's on the sleeve, obviously not on the card. So going to the team on the right, so we're headed to the Reds, the Braves, the Mariners, Diamondbacks, Blue Jays, Indians, Diamondback, Indian, Red Sox, Padre, Pirate, Ray, National, Royal, and Indian. That is how that little stack of dual team cards is going. Okay. Now then, let's do this. You said, hang on a second. What did you say, Josh? Oh, Jerry, you're out of here, man. All right. We will catch you the next time. I'm trying to see what Josh says here. Josh says people use long thumbnails to break cigars open and roll their weed. Oh, my God. No, I did not know that, brother. But, hey, thank you for thank you for the tip. That's the $4.99 for the White Sox, $99 for the Rays. That's $4.99 for the Dodgers, $402 for the Indians, $150 for the A's, $250 for the Rays, $4.99 for the Yankees, $402 for the Rays. Basically, guys, the chrome light blue are to $402, the paper light blue are to $4.99, $402, $99, $250. And our little what Panini calls white sparkle, and I can't really think what Topps calls it, but Panini calls that pattern white sparkle. The Astros to 50, that's paper. This is to $4.99 to $250 to straight up 50, $150, $402, $4.99, $4.99, $250, $99, $402, and another what Panini calls white sparkle, and I can't think what Topps calls it. So those are the primary color. Of course, we've got loads of refractors. You guys all are familiar with that. We're not going to necessarily go through all those again because there's like millions of them. We have Jake Wong for the Giants, first Bowman. Nice little Caden here for the Orioles. That's to 50. It's on the class of 2018 insert. Gotta love that. The Houston Astros with Jason Schroeder, first Bowman to 99, green chrome. Chris Bubik, 499, a chrome refractor, Kansas City Royals. The Toronto Blue Jays to 250, a first Bowman with Jordan Groshans. Kansas City Royals and Brady Singer, first bowman. Alex Thomas, Diamondbacks, first bowman. Ryan Rollinson, that is to 50, gold first bowman. Will Benfield for the Marlins. The Mets hit a first bowman, Jared Kelenic. Trevor Larnach for the Twins. And a first bowman refractor for Caden and the Orioles. I forgot we hit that. And then you got the class of 2018 one also. So, Baltimore Orioles kind of came out all right on that, didn't they? Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. Okay, so here's what we need to do along about now. We're going to put up that spreadsheet information one more time in case you missed it, in case you just want to see it again, in case you're not ready to go to sleep yet. I don't know. Anyway, we're floating through it one more time. So, paid shipping breaks, everything tonight with paid breaks should be out the door on or before Tuesday the 18th. Consolation cards, we don't have to worry about them. Every team pulled cards in both of our breaks tonight because there were millions and zillions and trillions of cards. Like, I'll be sorting for days. This is looking at the breaks that are coming up over the next few days. So tomorrow night we're going to be kind of busy again, but most of the stuff tomorrow night doesn't take a tremendous amount of time to open. We'll do a 4th and goal football, flawless collegiate basketball, half case, playbook football, full 8-box inner, and a half case of Elite Extra Edition, which is 10 boxes. Sunday, we're going to do a Hit Parade licensed football jersey, along with a 12-box case of Leaf Metal Draft Baseball and a 12-box Obsidian football case. Monday night will be a Gold Rush autograph baseball jersey. The back half of this case of Bowman Draft that we started tonight, we're going to finish it up on Monday night. Tuesday, another half of Flawless Collegiate, along with a 16-box master case of Revolution. On Wednesday, Leaf Metal Draft Baseball and Optic Football, which Optic Football is a new release that will just be coming out on Wednesday. So I think that is all the news to use for tonight, kids. I think that's it. So I am out of here for tonight. I will be back at it tomorrow. Hopefully I will see one or more of you again soon. We've always got plenty of stuff going on around here. So in the meantime, enjoy your weekend. And I will see you the next time. Bye now.